Have you ever wondered what it would look like if there were a FNAF election? Well, here we are. Let's get started. Election day. I'll be ranking the FNAF animatronics on whether or not I would trust them as my president. Starting off strong with the man, the myth, the legend, we have Freddy Fazbear. I think I'm gonna go with B tier. Slightly better than average for a FNAF character, but still not great. Next up, we have Bonnie, which I feel like is slightly worse than Freddy. I don't know, he just gives me worse vibes for being a president, I will say. Next up, we have Chica. I think she might be B tier, slightly better than Bonnie, and Cupcake would be our vice president, and I support that. Also, I feel like she has such a love for food. Maybe she tried to bring the general prices of food down, so it'd be a more affordable, which I do like that policy. Honestly, maybe A tier just because of that. I think Chico would do that. Next up, we have Foxy. Definitely C tier. I feel like he's kind of on the same page as Bonnie, where no, too aggressive, just wouldn't work out. Next up, we have Golden Freddy. I'm gonna go with F tier. Too vengeful of a spirit. I don't see this working in any way. Next up, we have Toy Freddy. I would put him A tier, honestly, but you gotta remember that his fingers are too fat to use a keyboard. I don't think that would suit him very well in his presidency.
I have these fat plastic fingers and can't press with buttons.
Next up, we have Toy Bonnie. At least he can use a keyboard, presumably, so A tier. Well, Toy Chica, here's the thing. Her design, questionable, to say the least. Scott, what were you doing? But would she be that bad of a president? I'm gonna go B tier, because I don't think she'd be as good as Toy Bonnie, but you never know. I think she could rally the votes to win, but would she be good? I'm not sure. Next up, we have Mangle. Honestly, I don't think this would be that bad, but I don't think it would be good. I really don't think Mangle's quite on A tier, but again, it could be worse. Next up, we have JJ. I'm gonna have to go with F tier. Again, child. Balloon Boy, F tier. That is a child. And now we have Puppet. Okay, she has a good heart, but could she run a country? That's the real question. I'm gonna go with D tier. I think it would be slightly better than if Cassidy, JJ, or Balloon Boy were to run the country, but it still would probably be worse than these two. Next up, we have Wither Freddy. I feel like slightly worse than normal Freddy. I don't know. Okay, next up, we have Withered Bonnie. Might be worse than Bonnie. Genuinely, I think that might be worse. Withered Chica? Same kind of thing. I think it would be worse. Yeah. Foxy. Yeah, I think all the Withereds, except for Withered Golden Freddy, that is F tier. Okay, now we have Shadow Bonnie. Could be worse. Kind of D tier vibes. Same with Shadow Freddy. Not great, could be worse. Paper Pals. I feel like, you know, they are paper, so they can't really do a whole lot, but I don't think they just like start a war or ruin our country like these guys per se. So that's why they're going in B tier. Okay, next up we have the man, the myth, the legend, William Afton. I feel like he'd make everyone sacrifice their newborn to him, and I really don't like that. So I think you're gonna have to go with F tier. He's also a child murderer, so he already has a bad criminal record. No thank you. Next up, all of the phantoms are gonna go in F tier because they're literally hallucinations. So, except for Watermelon Chica, B tier. Why? I don't know. She suits that spot. Okay, next up, controversial take. Nightmare Freddy might be our first S tier. I know, this is crazy, this is groundbreaking, I stand by this, okay? He already has 3 kids. He's a family man. He understands family values, you know? He knows what, you know, those fathers and mothers and stuff out there need. He probably has a better understanding of, you know, what we might need as a president in general compared to like Toy Bonnie, just because he's a father alone. So therefore S tier. Next up, we have the other nightmares though, which are not parents. So we're gonna go with D tier. I really don't see this ending well. I really don't. Actually, Nightmare Fredbear, F though. And same with normal Nightmare, F tier. Next up, we have Plush Trap. I'm gonna go with D tier, could be worse. Next up, we have the Jacko. Bonnie and Jacko Chica, definitely F tier, nope. Okay, Nightmare Mangle, probably D tier, probably. Nightmare Yawn, F tier, definitely not. Nightmare Balloon Boy, F tier, definitely not. Now, the Endo from FNAF World. He's a businessman, you know? He's a businessman. He has a small business in FNAF World. I really think this could go well, S tier. Next up, we have Dee. Nope. Lolbit. Now, Lolbit is a computer virus or glitch. That means he's good with technology. A tier. Next up, we have Circus Baby. Nope. Next up, we have Ballora, though. Now, presumably, if she is haunted by the Afton mother, you know, presumably, you know, then she's also a family girl, but we don't actually know that. And I don't really trust any of the sister location animatronics, so I'm gonna go with B tier just because she scares me a little bit, but it could be worse. Controversial take, Funtime Freddy's A tier though. I mean, he also has like a best friend, Bon Bon. I think Bon Bon would make quite the great president, and Bon Bon would be the vice president, advising Funtime Freddy on what to do. So therefore, we got this power duo, same kind of thing as Chica and Cupcake. Boom, power duo. Not quite S tier, but solid A tier duo. Next up, we got Funtime Foxy though. I think he's a bit too self-absorbed to be able to properly run the country, so C tier. Yendo, oh god, D tier, I fear. Biddy Bab, F tier. Electrobab, F tier. Mini Renas, F tier. Ennard, F tier. Bon Bon though. See, this is who I was waiting for because Bon Bon is the better half of Funtime Freddy when it comes to being the president, I presume. So if Bon Bon were the president and Funtime Freddy were the vice president, I think that would be slightly better than Funtime Freddy being the president and Bon Bon being the vice president, so therefore S tier. Next up we got Bonnet. Bonnet really just doesn't have a duo going for her either, but I don't think she'd be that bad, so B tier. Scrap Baby. This is rough. Probably F tier. Ooh, Molten Freddy. Ooh, F tier. Ooh, Scrap tier. F tier. Lefty. I'm gonna go with same tier as Puppet because technically Puppet is trapped inside of Lefty, but Lefty has some kidnapping functions. We're gonna go with D tier. Could be worse. Not a lot worse, but it could be a lot better. Okay, next up we got the trash in the gang. First we have, I don't even know this guy's name. He's kind of irrelevant. We're gonna go with like B tier, kind of on par with the Paper Pals. Anyways, we have Bucket Bob though. Ooh, Bucket Bob could serve. I trust in Bucket Bob. Now we got number one crate. You know, number one crate is number one for a reason, S tier. Next up we got Mr. Hugs. He is the antagonist in Toy Freddy's game. So we're gonna go with C tier. I think a vacuum would be better than most of D tier, so regardless. Next up we got Pan Stan. I think he's on par with Bucket Bob. Pretty good, pretty solid. All right, Candy Cadet. He's a good storyteller. He stands for free stuff, like free candy. He's also a businessman. We might have to go with S tier for this one. Pretty solid. Now Helpy. Helpy is a lawyer. He has experience. He's a helpful guy. He stands up for the best things for others. He's technologically advanced as well. Probably top of S tier. Just realistically, the rest of these aren't really in order. Top of S tier for Helpy though. All right, Happy Frog. She is a bit happy and she doesn't really try to kill you except for an ultimate custom night. Like she's chill in FNAF 6. For these reasons, I might have to go with A tier actually. Next up, we got Mr. Hippo though. Mr. Hippo is a yapper, but aren't all politicians. So honestly, I might go with A tier. He gives me old man vibes in a good way. And I kind of like him. I vibe with him. Next up, we got Pig Patch. Pig Patch is like the worst version of them, so B tier. Ned Bear. Ooh, no. He's giving you creepy uncle at family get-together vibes, and I don't like that, so no, B tier. Orville also gives nice old man vibes, but in a better way than Mr. Hippo, and he yaps less, so S tier. Okay, next up we got Rockstar Freddy. Again, a businessman. On that grind, he's on that hustle. He says you gotta please deposit 5 coins. Like, he's a businessman, so therefore, I think he could properly run the country, S tier. Next up we got Rockstar Bonnie. He always is losing his guitar. He's not very practical. Honestly, I might have to go with C tier. Next up we got Rockstar Chica. She's literally scared of wet floor signs, so that's gonna be a C for us. Okay, Rockstar Foxy though, you know, he's very generous, he's very kind, he's very charitable, he's constantly giving people free stuff. I think we're gonna have to go with A tier. We might bring Rockstar Freddy down as well, and they can be together, A tier. Next up, we have Music Man from FNAF 6. Ooh, I really don't think this would end well. We're gonna have to go see. Now we have El Chip though. This man, okay, is my president. I think he's slightly behind Helpy, but regardless, this man, he runs his own small business, El Chip's restaurant, okay? Then he builds it up from the ground and makes his way into the mega pizzaplex, establishing himself in the restaurant and business world. He is an icon. He is the moment. I love him. Obviously S tier. Next up though, Funtime Chica. Kind of a waste of space. So we're gonna go with C tier. Neutral ground. Next up we have Fredbear. He likes giving children kisses, which makes me mildly uncomfortable. So we're gonna go with F tier. Glitch Trap though. Okay, he's technologically advanced, which boosts him up. You know, he's done a few bad things that are gonna have to move him down to F. Dreadbear. This guy is horrifying, like 300 feet tall, Frankenstein zombie type of Freddy Fazbear, so I think F tier. I don't see that ending well. Could he even fit in the White House? Probably not. Now we have Glamrock Freddy. Obviously, S tier. This man, he takes such good care of Gregory. He's charitable. He shows empathy because he cares for his friends like Monty, Chica, Roxy. He cares for Glimmer Bonnie as well. Low-key, depending on how you look at their interactions, could be a gay icon as well. So, S tier for those reasons. We need some representation. Okay, next up we have Glamrock Chica. I think solid A tier. Honestly, I do. I could see her doing decently. Next up we got Roxy. Call me crazy. Might be another S tier moment, slightly below L-Chip. Her with Cassie, so sweet. She saves Cassie's life. Sure, she cares about her looks a lot, but aren't a lot of people kind of self-absorbed in the real world anyway, so Roxy would fit right in. Next up, we got Monty. I feel like he's kind of like Roxy and Glamrock Freddy, but with anger issues, so A tier. Next up, we got Vanny. You know, presumably she killed the missing children at the Pizzaplex, so F tier. Now we got Sun. Hot take, Sun might have to be A tier because Sun is a threat if the lights ever go out in the White House or anywhere. You know, at nighttime, Sun will turn into Moon, so therefore, just because of that security risk, A tier. If there weren't that risk, maybe S tier. But Sun is a bit childish, you know, so even then, maybe not quite S tier. Okay, next up we got Moon. Just the bad version of Sun all around, probably D tier. I really don't like that guy. Next up we got DJ Music Man though. Okay, slightly better than Music Man. Still don't think he could run a country. Also could not fit in the White House, B tier. Mini Music Man though. I'm gonna have to go with D tier. I think it's slightly better than most of D tier, but definitely worse than these guys. All right, now we got the Blob, F tier. Definitely not. Now we got Burn Trap, F tier. Definitely not. And we got Mapbot. Mapbot knows what's up, knows the locations, knows how to get around, you know, technologically advanced, pretty decent. I'm gonna go with B tier. Okay, this finishes out the tier list, but I do have some honorable mentions for you guys. First of all, I would say the Lemonade Clown from FNAF 6, who I call Pissy Peter because I believe Fazbear Entertainment does not have the budget to source lemonade, so there are some other liquids inside of Pissy Peter. Use context clues. Regardless, I think Peter would be S tier. I think he could run the country properly. You know, he's a redhead. Also is a businessman. You know, he sells lemonade. I think he's, you know, worked from the ground up. He's a redhead, so I have to support him. Like, he's cool. He's a cool guy all around. And he scares Balloon Boy children. And I hate Balloon Boy children. So beautifully done. Another honorable mention, probably the best one in S tier if this animatronic were on the tier list, Liberty Chica. Self-explanatory. You're telling me you don't think Liberty Chica could run the country because I know she could. She is Lady Liberty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the finished tier list. Let me know what you would change, what you agree with down below. And yeah, shout out to all my channel members. I love you all so much and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.